Hello, hello, hello. What's going on, everybody? And welcome to the official 2025 Fantasy EHP Draft Review. The draft is done, the teams are set, and the first matchups are just a week away, starting on July 13th. Today, we're breaking it all down. I'm your host, Malik, aka MOK, and I'm here with the one and only Levine. How are you feeling about these
Yo,
rosters?
I think a lot of teams look pretty bad coming out of this draft.
Oh, you,
I
you
think there's a
tripping
huge,
already?
I think there's a huge gap difference between these teams. Like I watched the Glass review yesterday, and the general sentiment just seems to be that the teams are really close. I think that's nonsense. I think there's a huge gap between the best teams and the worst teams in this one.
I see. Oh, you kind of tripping. You're kind of tripping, but that's cool. That's why this is a good debate. I think it's a lot closer than you're saying, but go with what Glad says. Maybe be what it is. But
Hmm.
that's awesome, man. Okay, so there are some things that that did happen during the draft, and uh, being a watcher, I think before we dive into the full team power rankings, I think that we should look at the foundation of every single team, like the first two rounds of the draft. Because these picks are the picks that are supposed to like define, they're supposed to define the franchise. So, we have to start with the biggest debate at the top. Gillinor and Goon Squad taking Geduzu first overall. I don't know. He's a powerful neat and he has like that big ceiling, but right there at the fourth pick is with the Shillos Necro. And I mean, you know, I'm not gonna lie. He is probably, in my opinion, he's probably the safest pick. I mean, with an amazing floor. So I mean, we can just start there, Levine. Did
Yeah,
the GGs make the right call? What do you think?
I think the first pick is fine, but it's also a pick that's impossible to mess up. Like he's known for 2 to 3 days that he had the first pick, so of course he's gonna be fine here. This is not where he will be cooked by the other captains, so it's a decent opening. I think you can make the case for the picks in the first place, but Geduzu is pretty good to start here. So yeah, this is fine. Fine
I
opening.
mean, yeah, I would say the same. I agree, kind of. I think you can mess up the first pick. We've seen plenty of competitions in the past where the first pick might even be the last on your team, and but I highly doubt that that would be that with Kaduzu. I'd hope not. But I definitely think that looking in the first row, there are some picks where maybe I would have switched it up personally, but maybe they got more insight. But yeah, looking at the first round, it's a murderer's row of talent. I'm not gonna lie. BHB, the Bangor Harbor Butchers, they got Azula, and I don't know for the finals. That might be one of the best picks for the finals for sure. And then uh, uh, the fifths, the Fossil Island Fiends, Cherry, straight competitive knee. I mean, that goes without saying. The Botany Bay Plunderers get Mage. That I don't know if he's not a need, but he basically is a need. So these are like really good picks, and Halcyon, good anchor, obviously, for the Chinchampas, and I don't know. You like you said, you can't really fault these picks. Um,
Yeah,
but
I think they make the most of the position they're drafting from. The only
yeah,
questionable thing is probably Chiri as the first
I
overall
mean,
as the third overall pick. I don't know if that's necessary. I don't know if the other captains would have taken Chiri if she was still open by then.
I mean,
Probably have waited till the second round. I don't know,
second
but
round,
it's fine. Like the numbers are gonna be there for sure.
you
I
might
don't know, man.
nah,
The
yeah,
third
you might
overall is
not,
pretty
nah,
early.
yeah, you might not know.
like,
You might have to get off this stream. You might have to get off the stream. No, but
like,
you might not know. Yo, Cherry yo, are you keeping up with? Have you been keeping up with like just the preseason? Think about the preseason. Jerry's been doing this crazy woodcutting, mind you, woodcutting month. They're on some real like. I think that
yeah,
you need Cherry could be up there with Azula and Gaduza. We're talking about long term gameplay
yeah,
here. I mean, we're talking about first look, bro. We're talking about first rounders. Like people, these are people that you want to get into the finals. These are people that you have to foresee them getting to the finals. If any of these first rounders said that they can't play like every week, bro, look, everyone I listed, I said neat, bro. Basically a neat. You know, I think that you might be a little bit mistaken there, but yeah, I still can't fault the first round. The first round, in my opinion, is the first round. Like it's a really good first round.
Not saying Chiri is a bad pick. I mean, she's a good player, but I just don't know if it should be third overall.
Third overall.
I wouldn't have taken her third overall.
Who would you have taken then?
I would rather have Mage and Necro or Halcyon Seed. I'm taking all those three before her.
Okay, but Mage or Necro or Halcyon Seed. But we know that Mage, yeah, he's a gamer. He's gonna game hard, you know. But like, you're taking. I'm just saying, yo. All right, yeah. For me, bro, I just look at like how people have been playing, and I'm thinking, you know, just preseason. Like, we're looking at people who are straight up, you know, who have been gaming, who have been gaming. These people are on like 60 weeks plus, just chilling. So yeah, it's not a bad, it might be a bad take that you can't take Cherry at third, but I think that it's debatable for sure. And yeah, I think
I mean, still, I think all 6 players that are picked in the first round, they're all good players. So I don't think this is where we will see the huge differences.
okay. Okay, yeah. So I think that yeah, who do you think would be the biggest surprise out of those 6 though? The first round. Like who do you think will do more or less out of those 6?
Well, for me, it will be Chiri, probably, because I don't expect her to do that
Damn.
much, and I expect a lot out of the other ones. So I
Oh my
think she'll probably
god.
surprise me then.
Oh my god. I hope she does surprise you, honestly. And I think that once we get into these deeper weeks, you'll see. I think you and I hey, and I think that once we get into these deeper weeks, we'll see. Because also when we look at our power rankings, I can already tell from the power rankings. Oh, I can already tell the power rankings is gonna be crazy. And I'm already just thinking about what people would be saying in these comments. And I think honestly, at the end of the day, you're gonna be in some shit, but that's not my problem. Okay. So
What?
I think
I
you're
think my
gonna
powering is very conservative. Like it's very straightforward. There are no surprises. Like
it might be
I think it was very
conservative.
easy to
It
call.
might be conservative, but I hope it's right, man. That's all I'm saying.
It is right. It's both right and conservative.
Okay.
No bold
Okay.
predictions.
Okay. I think that the surprise player to come out of this probably be Gaduzer. I mean, number 1 pick overall. There's just so much room for a surprise, and I mean, there's only a certain amount of hours in a week. They're all going to be like playing, so I definitely can see. I definitely can see Gaduzu being not volatile. They're going to perform for sure. But yeah, you're saying Cherry, and I think that I can see Cherry like performing multiple weeks in like topping the other people in that group personally.
Yeah,
But
I think it's possible that Kidusu will do like 1 big month, and then he will be benched for like 2 or 3 weeks. Not that I know, but I could just see it happen like that. And I think some of these other picks will be starting every
yeah,
week or close to every week.
uh,
I think Gidusa will be riding the bench more.
I think Cherry's a safer pick than Halcyon Seed though. Like because you said that you would put Halcyon Seed above Cherry. I mean, Halcyon Seed
Yeah,
can play, no doubt. They can play. Never seen them. I don't know their month off the top of my head, but I'm like, I just know that I
148 is
literally
the
have
most recent one, I think.
148.
Yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know, yo. I think that you saying that the 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 6th pick is over the 3rd. That's a big take. I hope you're ready to stand on that.
I think so.
All right, that's all I'm saying. The 6th pick. That's what you're saying.
Hmm.
And all right, and I mean you got Mage right there too. And I mean Necro. To me, I'm not gonna lie. I think Necro is the safest pick in the whole row. Like we've seen this dude. This dude's played multiple comps. You know, this dude's played
Yeah.
multiple comps, been consistent. Even on when they're on the losing team, even when they're on the losing team, they've been consistent with their play, and it just goes to show that like they have high mentality there, bro. Like it's a good first round, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. Do you think there's gonna be any records coming out of this round?
I think it's possible. Like, Necro
Yeah,
was recently doing thieving, but I don't think that was a very good skill for him. I think he struggled with that one. But potentially with Slayer, maybe there could be a Slayer month ahead.
yeah. Oh
And I
yeah,
think these other ones could be due for like a good week or something
yeah,
whichever skill they choose to go for.
yeah. Um, but yeah, I mean that sounds good for the first round. Um, but things they get interesting in the second round because this is where you see like different like strategies. Like you had like I don't know CTH and GGS, made like safe picks with Freckle Dad and Fincher respectively. But for me, uh, two picks really defined this round personally. Um, do you have any like thoughts on that? Because I don't want to tell you my two picks why they defined this round because I feel like I don't want you to just piggyback off me. I want to hear what you have to say. Like if you have any thoughts, like when you're looking at the second round, is there anything that like you notice off the top of your head?
And yeah, already in the second round, we can see that some captains are completely unprepared for this draft.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like, of course, like, only Sims picks Isra, of course, which is ridiculous in this round. I don't know what he's doing.
Mm, mm, mm,
I mean, he has a
mm.
good team overall, but Isra in the second round is ridiculous. No one else would have taken him this early.
Ah, yeah. I'm not gonna even lie. It's crazy. You read my mind. I got my notes right here, and yeah, I think that's the biggest reach right there. That is one of the biggest reaches of the draft. The Butcher's taking Istra. I know Istra. That's the guy. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a good player. Uh, but I don't even know if he's gonna be sure for like playoffs. Like, is he playoff ready? You know, these type of questions you got to ask. Is he playoff ready right now? We're talking about like,
Yeah.
yeah, bro. Like we're talking about people. We just talked about the first round. This is only one round. Some of these first rounders are going to be looking to beat some of these, or some of these second rounders are going to be looking to beat some of these first rounders. Sometimes you never know. So like, is Istra in that shape? You know what I'm saying? Does he have that? Does he have that cardio for it? Is he ready for that? You think that he's ready for that? For the playoffs, let alone, I mean, finals, let alone playoffs.
I think he's gonna play. Like, I think that only Sims has done his research, so I don't think he would have picked him if he wasn't gonna put up some numbers here and
Mm,
there. But still, it
mm.
never justifies picking him in the second round. And like, and I think if the captain wasn't DJ9, like he could have punished him much harder for this pick because he decides to not go for Tortunama. He goes for Isra over Tortunama first, which means that DJ9 could have gone with Tortunama as his second or third pick, sniped him right ahead of only Sam's. So yeah, only Sam's is completely trolling already. But
Uh,
it's still a good draft nevertheless, but this decision was ridiculous.
yeah. I mean, I know. I think Torb might. You know, yeah. I don't know. Something about these first three rounds. I just feel like you should really focus on that finals, because four out of four out of the six teams are gonna go to the playoffs. You want people who are gonna play, especially on these first three picks. I don't know. You said you would take Istra over Torb. I mean, they may be interchangeable. Istra may have been a third rounder, maybe, but Tort,
I
I,
don't
I
think
don't think
so.
I don't think Tort will be. I don't know if Tort will be playing like the full season like that. I don't know how much they'll be able
I
to
don't think he
get.
will, but he's a bigger name than Istra is. He should have been a bigger priority for all these other captains. So there's no world where you would ever take Istra before Tatunama.
Well, how do you know how to? I've never actually said his name. I just call him Tort. I've never actually talked to him, but I've played against. He's a gamer. I'm not going to hold that. He's definitely a gamer, but
He's a gamer and he has a gamer name.
all right. You kind of you kind of glazing. All right, okay, okay.
Yeah, I
Like
think the guy's good.
I don't know, but it is out. But we both agree that like taking like Istra it's a
Yeah,
gamble. It's a big gamble. It's a big gamble. Second round, that's a big gamble.
for sure.
Um, Yeah, but then you have like on the flip side, for me, the best value pick of these early rounds, it has to be Rez. Like the shitloads. Like, this is a player who can play a ton and who can carry. And this is a second rounder, mind you. And you know, his weekly PB, it rivals, like it literally goes against some of the first rounders. So I think getting him there, it gives SS arguably the strongest top two in the entire league, personally. Personally, like Necro and Rez top two, that's a pretty good first two draft. Like especially if you look at like in comparison.
Yeah. I mean, I think Rez is like perfectly valued here in this spot. I don't think there's overvalue or undervalue here. This is just what's expected that he will fall here. It's not like a fantastic pick, or it's not a bad pick either. It's just like par for the
Mm.
course, I think. And also I think Rez will not play as much in the regular season. So, but of course the pop is there if they make it to playoffs.
I think he's gonna. I think he's right now, given what he's doing, like in the preseason. I think that definitely, if he can keep up what he's doing right now, the pace he's doing, if he wants to keep up for getting his PB year, I think he can just play normally throughout this, get into the semis, get into the semis, maybe the finals, for sure playoffs, play, do some big weeks, take some time off if he's at work, and you got Necro, neat. That's Jordan and Pippen right there. Those are like two. That's yeah, that yeah. And like I said
Yeah,
before, even if they're losing, you're still gonna have Necro who's not just gonna fold. He's not gonna fold. So yeah, for me,
yeah. I
I
think
think the
if they
shitloads landing both Necro and Rez, it's a good start. And then I don't know. Uh, yeah.
Yeah, I think if they do make playoffs, I think Rez could be due for a record as well, a weak record. So, but it's just
Mm.
also getting there. That's going to be pretty rough.
Are there any other picks in the top two that stick out to you in the top two rounds or the second round in particular?
I would say I don't know how high a priority Pion would have been for the other captains. So I was pretty surprised to see them go there. Not a pick that I would have taken there, but I've not done any research. I'm just looking at it from outside looking in. And Fincher is probably also a pretty weak second round pick.
Mm.
And Lane is obviously valued high because of the most recent performance, so that's probably justified.
What was the,
Frickel that.
what was their most recent performance, Lane?
I can't remember the exact numbers. I just know they were pretty high up when I looked at the comp.
Yeah. You're chatting
I don't
then.
know what they finished at.
You're chatting. You're chatting then.
It's,
The most recent performance. Their most recent performance. Probably like 130. 130? Yeah. That's a good performance. That's really up there. That has to be in the top like 2% all time, 2 to 5% all time in terms of like EHP weeks. I don't know what skill it was, but yeah. And I know that they're an up and comer like in terms of comping. So definitely I would say look out for them. The Pion comment, I think they may, yeah, definitely they're there, but I don't know if they're a second rounder. I don't know if they're a third rounder, but I don't really keep up with. I don't know how they've been doing the preseason. I don't know like what their full mentality is going into it. I don't know if you have any insight about that. You seem to like you started off by saying that you didn't feel too hype about that pick.
I don't have any insight. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Fincher, I'm not gonna hold you. I'm a little biased there. I think that you're tripping on my guy. I think he's gonna perform. There's a reason why he had. Surely DJ9 has a reason to pick this man second because, there just has to be a reason. I refuse to believe.
The reason is he hasn't done any research.
You don't think so? The fact that
It
I'm not
doesn't look
really,
like it.
like when you think about it, the fact that we're up here And it's more like I know that he can game. I know that he can game, but the fact that I'm up here and I can't really give you like the reason for it, that I could base a second round pick, it kind of lets you know that like maybe there's nothing that sticks out yet, but who knows? They could this could be their this could be their time. This could be their time to shine. And I think in that second round, you really want to shine. So yeah, I think it's time to get into the main event. Um, it's time that we reveal our official preseason power rankings, starting from the bottom at number 6 and working our way up. Crucially, we have not shared these lists with each other. So the reactions you see and the debates you hear are going to be 100% genuine. I'll kick us off. For my number 6 spot, the team I think had the weakest draft is, for me, it's going to be the Gillinor Goon Squad. I think they lack that elite anchor compared to the other teams and have some playoff availability issues probably that are down the roster. All right, Levine, who do you have at number 6?
I guess we found some common ground because I also have them at 6.
You love to see it.
Just
Bringing
a garbage team. Like this is team special of fantasy. This is the same draft. It's the same draft.
Get off. No, I'm playing. I'm playing.
And they do the same thing. Like, especially he had a good first round pick. He picked Necro back then.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the picks are all garbage. And it's the same thing here with DJ9. He gets the first round correct, and then everything else is just complete bonanza, man.
Yo, garbage.
Like, what a bunch of nonsense.
Garbage is crazy. Garbage is crazy though. You're disrespectful right now. I'm not gonna lie. Garbage is crazy.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think I'm fair. I think I'm fair in my assessment.
Ooh, garbage is wild.
And I think they will go 0-7 as well. They're not winning a single game. Yeah, they're not winning a single game. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
I will say that there is one saving grace, and it's the fact that there are only 5 players starting, and Guendouzi makes up 20% of those players. So they only need to mobilize 4 good performances out of the rest. But I just don't think they will be able to. Not with these names.
Yeah, that's crazy. We both had that. Like, to be honest, yeah, Guendouzi, like the 500 month is crazy of mining. Like, yeah, he has a high ceiling to carry the team. He's gonna be consistent. We know this. Fincher, I mean, can do big weeks. They have a pretty good PB week. And they'll need several of those weeks for the team to succeed.
Yeah. And I think like Fipabi in the 5th round, that's just icing on the cake. Like, that's when you're really revealing that you're just a troll.
Yeah.
And then he goes into Helpless Bob and Buff Boobies. Compared it to the picks that are right next door, never for a know the owner. Like, when you're looking outside in, you think that there's like 5 round differences between these picks, but they're picked in the same round.
Yeah.
It's absurd, man.
Yeah, like I'm sorry, like I'm not even sorry, man. I'm just gonna tell it how it is, bro. Like, Iodin, like, that's a situation. That's a situation, he has some good weeks. He has a good week, but like, he has a few he can do some good important weeks, but like, is he gonna do a 70 every week? Because like, we starting there, like, because I'm talking about the 4th rounder or the 4th pick. It's like, your 4th pick needs to be a little bit stronger, because look at the people in the 4th pick. Look at the people. You're going against Unreal Turn, Static Void, Ben, and from who is this one again? I forget. I have them written down here.
Or something.
I have them written down here, man. But they're definitely, because I think that is actually they're gonna be. We got some needs, and
the thing is,
Iodin's not that. He's not that.
the thing is, I still think that Iodin is a good pick, but I think
But
all value is just removed because usually he goes pretty late in the draft,
yeah,
and now you're
yeah,
already pulling the
yeah.
trigger in the
De-
fourth round. So like all
definitely.
value is just flown away.
Definitely, definitely. I think, yeah, I think if you really, because DJ9, I believe they're free to play. I see a little bit. I see a free to play there. Maybe you can motivate the homie, but I'm definitely saying maybe a fifth or sixth, maybe a sixth rounder, maybe a fifth, because I don't think the other captains would have picked Iodin, but I do also think that maybe the other captains might not be able to motivate Iodin, because a lot of it does happen to be that locker room, and you never know. Maybe maybe there's some conversation there that happened. We don't know, uh, to where they'll end up. Maybe there's something going on. You never know, but Spooky Spooky's a good pick. Uh, you know, he may lack the weak winning feeling of the other third rounders. Not gonna lie, there, like holy CC9. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, but one thing about it is you can just tell by the energy he's bringing. If 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 DJ9 can't get Iota and hype, Spooky's there. I feel the hype behind Spooky, and I can tell he's invested in this fantasy. So, like I said, these are it. It is it. Yeah, while they are my six team there, and they're your six team, you never know. There could be something that pops off.
I think they should be extremely happy if they've managed to find one W this season.
Mm,
Because 07 would be pretty embarrassing, but if they can go 1-6, honestly, I think that's huge for their team. That's really, really impressive.
yeah.
When you just look at the
Um.
names with the materials they have available, going 1-6 this team, that's huge.
Yeah.
Great job, guys. And I think that the best part about the draft is probably the last two picks, Whirlo and Scarf. It's probably the best. The players that were just left over.
You said
Like,
that was their best pick.
yeah, probably. Like, the draft
Uh,
is so bad that the best part is probably just the last two random picks.
Honestly, although yeah, it might be one of the. Well, no, Gaduzu is up there, yo. Like Gaduzu is still that pick. But I
Yeah,
guess
okay, first.
if we're talking in terms of like comparing it to like the rounds that they're picked in and whatnot, yeah,
Yeah,
Scarf
yeah.
might be there. You have a level 3, you know.
Yeah.
But one thing about it
I
is,
mean,
and you've already
yeah.
said it, and I'm gonna agree. They're last on our ranking. They're not getting into they are not getting into the playoffs. So, and
No
I
chance.
know, and I have, and the insight is telling me that Scarf is not playing in the playoffs. So it's good for Scarf. He doesn't have to worry about that no more. You're not going to the playoffs. Just put the
Yeah.
scarf on and chill out. Chill on the bench. You're not going. You're not going. You're not going. Unfortunate. 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 But it doesn't matter.
And I think the locker room will just be crickets after 2 weeks. I don't think they will talk to each other after that point.
Now that's
There's no vibes in this
yeah.
team. It's just hopeless. It's cooked.
Yeah, I don't know. I I think, but there's talented gamers there for sure. I'm definitely not writing them off. And Evie Poppy, there's a lot of meme behind it, but yo, you're gonna get a 70 plus probably out of the guy. So, and that might be bad because I think that 70 plus on that team, man, every week, considering like you might have wanted to get him earlier. If this is how you're going to draft, you might have wanted to get him earlier for you. If this is how you're drafting, because if you're looking at the other picks,
You're saying you wanted to get Fipabi earlier.
bro.
What?
Because I don't see some of these people. I don't see Iodin doing a 70 plus every week.
Iodin has a way higher peak than Fipabi. Like,
Like yo,
Iodin is a guy that you pick to win games.
but let's be
Fipabi is just a pick you make to troll.
honestly, it's so cooked for the team that I'm gonna be honest here, and no disrespect, but it's so cooked that you don't even really need the 70 weekly. Just get you one good win so that no one cooks you, and then just keep it pushing because you're not going to the playoffs. So that's
Yeah.
crazy. That's what it is.
Yeah. Play for honor though.
Yeah,
It's really
play for
bad.
honor for
It's a bad
sure.
look when you go 07.
Play
Just try
for
try and get that one W. Like treat the first week or the second week maybe as like a playoff final, and go all in on that matchup and hope you can win. That's how you need to
yeah.
play. That's how you need to approach this season. Avoid the embarrassment.
Wow. Okay. So we agree there. I
Yeah.
guess we should move on to the number 5. For me, I have the Bangor Harbor Butchers.
Whoa. What?
Yeah. The team, to me, they're fascinating because their strategy is kind of high risk. Tort, I don't think that they're going to be around. The league's been saying that they might be out with an injury till mid-August. That's what the league is saying. That's what the league is saying. I mean, how much do you think that's going to hurt them? And I mean, who's your fifth?
My fifth and fourth pick were like the two hardest teams to place. I think the case could be made for either. I think I had a really
Mm,
easy time placing the first, second, third, and the sixth pick, but 4 and 5 kind of like
yeah.
interchangeable between two teams.
Okay, I'll let
So
you put your fourth and fifth. Go ahead, go for it.
yeah. So my fifth pick will be the Sentistan Shitlows, and the fourth will be Fossil Island Fiends. I think there are pros and cons with each team.
Oh my God! Go ahead, tell me your pros and cons.
I think Moses' team Shitlows. I think they have a little bit higher peak, but I do think that the Fiends have a little bit more consistency, and I also think the Fiends have an easier schedule because the Fiends are like they are playing weaker teams in the week 6 and 7. I think week 6 they have Gilnor Goon Squad, possibly. I can't remember. Maybe that's wrong, so don't hold me on that. But I think overall the schedule is a little bit easier on the Fiends
You're
and a
tripping.
little bit more consistency. And I think the Shitlows will really struggle in the regular season. I think they can muster a really good playoff team,
Oh my God.
but I think they'll have a really hard time getting in. I think they might miss playoffs. If they get in, they can make some noise in playoffs, but I think they'll struggle in the regular season for sure.
Okay,
But it's really close between the two. It's really close.
that
Like
last part,
if I'm either
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah,
if
you're
I'm
right there.
if I'm either of these captains, if I'm listening to this, if I'm Moses or Hatch, I look forward to this week 4 matchup between the two teams, and I will really just put all eggs in one basket because that game counts like 2 games basically. You hand a loss to the other team, you hand yourself a win. So you really want to prioritize that week 4. That's gonna be a banger.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, like I said, the third rounders, not being around, that's not what you want for the early game. We're talking about power ranking, getting into that playoffs, getting into those finals. It's cool if your guy comes in, you got a good third rounder, he's popping up, but that third rounder, you kind of want him to be around. You dig? I'm honestly surprised that you got the Sentistan Shitlows that far down, but for me personally, let me see. I don't know. That's kind of their top 2 duo. You got Necro and Rez. I mean,
It's a good duo, but you're not gonna get that many hours out of rest in the regular season. So you need some of these other players to step up to the plate, and I'm just not seeing it. I don't know. Muchin is not gonna play much. I don't think PVM items is gonna play much. Edge, I don't know. Zeke is not gonna play every week. Like they don't have a deep bench. They're really gonna struggle in the regular season. They're gonna struggle so hard, man.
For me, and I'm gonna obviously rank them on here once we get to it, but for me, why they're not here is because of that. However, if they get into that playoff somehow, it could be a problem because, they used 3 of their first 6 picks on players with, they're gonna be injured come playoffs. That's critical. That's season-ending error. Or I don't know. Maybe it's a bold strategy. Maybe it's a bold strategy. And that's just the league talks, the phones have been ringing and everybody knows. I don't know. I don't think you have the intel, Living, but mayhaps rest that there. Now, I still would put them. Yeah, and you're also tripping, man. Fossil Island Fiends, you must be tripping. This first week itself, I won't even get too deep into it because we're gonna talk about the first week. But they won the draft. They got the steal of Cabo. in the third round. In the third round. Okay? They got turned. Yo, they got turned. Yo, let's be for real. Let's be for real. I think that was the biggest trip ever you made right there. This is crazy. At least you have them getting into the playoffs, but you're still tripping there. I think you're underplaying that. You're underplaying the Fiends by a lot. You have a lot of room. Yo, look at if you even just look at like their last four. Yo, we have people who are literally going to go crazy. I know. Pete, yo, the level 3 community is rallying behind Pete right now. There's a lot of pressure there. And we got people, yeah, man. Yeah. Hey, all I'm saying is there's a lot of laps that might be ran. And we're talking, yo, I think you really played it down there. You got Cherry, Pion, Cavo, Turn, Marnie on me, Marnie on 3. Let's be for real. Pete, Mage's Book, LeBong, stop it. Stop playing. One of the best players to ever walk this earth. Ridvik, don't even have to say it. He's going to go crazy. The Fiends are Fiends. And I think that you putting them at 4th, while yes, you got them going playoffs, you really are underrating that team. You're really underrating that team. Definitely.
Like, if you look at the last 4 picks, like Peaked, Mage's Book, LeBron James, and Rivik, none of those players are going to contribute anything significant. It leaves you with 5 players left, and those 5 players, like, they're just kind of mid. They're not bad, but compared to some of these other teams, they are really bad. So yeah, it's not a great team. It's probably good enough to make playoffs, and that's because the DJ9's team out of the question already. So you only need to beat one other team to get into playoffs. So I think they can manage that, but it's a pretty mid team.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. But I definitely disagree with you. I think these last 2 things, everybody knows the Goon Squad, like we said like 10, 20 minutes ago, chill out. Don't worry. Play the regular season. Don't worry about playoffs. But let's look at, okay, I'm going to talk about my fourth here, and knowing that how you revealed yours, I think that we're going to be in high disagreement for the rest of this. So I have the Botany, isn't it Bay? Botany Bay.
At 4? What?
Yeah. I'll tell you why. Do you want me to go? Will you let me speak?
Can I just ask, did you look into this draft at all? Have you seen the draft, or you're just picking numbers out of the head?
No. I definitely looked into the draft. You want me to speak? Levine?
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. They're led by an elite. They're led by Mage. Elite player. Ook is a good captain. We know this. They're led by an elite player, Mage. We know. Gamer. Boom. Yo. Like I said before, to win this, you have to go playoffs and play in the playoffs. You have to have people who go finals. I love Cactus. He has some of the best. He's a gamer. I'll give him that. But taking him 3rd rounder as a player who the streets have been saying low playoff contributor. He's someone that you'll need. If they can get him in there, boom, they go up for me. But if he doesn't contribute, it's gonna be a problem. And I don't know, man. I'm really tapped in there, Levine. I don't know if you are, man. People may not like that pick, but to win this, you have to play in the playoffs. You have to have people who are going to get in the playoffs. Your first 3 picks need to be people who will play in the playoffs. They have to. Like, that's just how this goes. Whether that be any type of draft, personally. So, yeah. I mean, it's a tough hurdle to overcome. Personally. So, I mean, do you have any thoughts on my opinion there?
I mean, you're talking about players needing to play in playoffs, but this team is pretty much only competition players. It's players that are capable of putting up a lot of numbers in a week. Like all these names are names that have performed fantastic in the most recent comps. I think there's a question mark around Krimk, but like considering the position he's drafted in is fine. And I think the last 4 picks are also going to give depth to the bench. So I think this team is fantastic.
I we'll agree to disagree there, but I can't wait, Levine. As these weeks go on and we get to do these, we're gonna be able to see, and the people are gonna come back and they're gonna say what they feel, and we're gonna allow them to say what they feel, and we're gonna have to hold true to this. So stay on your word, Levine. You're not gonna be able to avoid this. We won't be able to avoid this. Okay. What I'm saying is what I mean, what I feel. What you're saying is what you mean and what you feel. These are some interesting picks there. I think that we should get into the round threes, which are the contenders. Who's your round three?
3 is Chinchomba Trap House.
Oh hell no! Got up on my face, man. Can't believe you're on here right now. Okay, why?
I think all the picks are good. Like you're gonna get at least one good week out of every player on this team. I don't think there are any weaknesses, and considering the draft position as well, much better than I expected. But I mean, Dots has been captaining a few comps now, and he's just exposing all these rookies, even with a bad draft position, maybe. So yeah, this is great. Everything is good about this team, I think. I don't know if I would have gone with the Freckle in the second round, but yeah, it's really good names. I think there's still 2 of the stronger teams than this one, but they will not struggle getting into playoffs at all. Like, they're guaranteed to make playoffs. I don't think this is close. I thought it was close between the 4 and 5th team, but
yeah.
This is a team that will guaranteed make playoffs, and then we will see what they can do.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I would say personally, Frank, I think he's an elite second option. You know, you got a work from home player. You know, can probably play a little bit more. You know, if needed. You know, Althien, S tier, good anchor, S tier anchor, a neat, play a lot. I've been cooking her time and time again. This is where she got to pop out. 148 week, quit playing. That's what I'm saying. Like, in the fact that, oh man, bro, that's not even in a fantasy, bro. I'm trying to tell these people, Jasper's been around for ages. You know, he's not, but he might be missing, you know, a couple, you know, around. We got some smart people on this team. We got people, we got professors on this team. Yo, we got people that are gonna really dig into this stuff. I think that Pootsy's not even a sleeper pick. Just straight up, I think that people are underestimating the contribution she's going to have, and then I don't know, Serge.
I don't think she's going to peak that much in playoffs, but I think there will be some good regular season games out of
her. You know, and that's another thing to look at. Some people may peak in the regular season, but I think that maybe some of these regular seasons you just need to knock somebody off. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you just need to like put the hammer down on somebody, take a week. Boom, come back, and you're in the game. I think that you're underestimating Pussy there. But like I said, we're gonna see Serge. I like this team a lot, and you're gonna see by my ranking. Serge, you know, just strategic piece. You know, you probably pop him in there for 1 week, get a good 120 plus, a good 120 plus. W's in his name, so. I think that that's one of those things that people may underestimate. And I hate to be. I don't even want to. It's not that I hate to say it, but I have to say it. All right, let me ask you first. How do you feel about DKHO?
It's not going to contribute anything in the regular season. Maybe you can get him to play 1 week in playoffs, but I don't know if they're even going to need him by then. Maybe they will go with some other names. So he will not see a lot of court time this season. And then you have Seam, another player with Tuna Malol. Yeah. He's also pretty weak. Like he cannot post triple digits.
Weak is crazy. But, he can't. Oh my god. Go ahead.
You can probably get 1 or 2 70s out of him, and that's about it. But it's fair enough considering the draft.
Who needs to the
It's
top?
fair enough
Who needs to the
considering the
top
draft
here?
position, but he
Okay.
just can't skill anymore. He's
Okay.
one of the worst
He
Finnish
can't.
skillers recently.
Now you're kind of disrespectful. Now that's disrespectful. You're saying one of the worst skills ever with 200 mil all? You're disrespectful. Bro.
No, recently.
What?
He was good in his prime, but he's washed
in his
now.
prime, he's washed. He signed up for fantasy. He signed up for fantasy. It's time to imagine. Imagine the ceiling. Imagine the ceiling here. Imagine the ceiling.
Why are you signing up for fantasy when you're 45 years old and you can't skill anymore?
But you're disrespectful. That's gonna be if he has to, for a one-on-one after a couple one of these weeks, bro, you're gonna have to see him about that, bro. Y'all probably don't live too far from each other. So, hey, that's all I'm saying. Those are fighting words. He was disrespectful. That's crazy. You gotta put some respect there. 200 mil all, you don't got it. I don't got it, but that's nonetheless neither here nor there. I think that you're tripping about DKHO. Zim, I can't say that I'm 100% like knowledgeable on their performance, but they're pretty Do
you think that DK
Darts
will
is
play
a stop it. Let me finish here. Darts is a good captain. Okay, Halcyon is really active. Freckle Dad, really active. Desper, strong player. Pussy, really active. Surge, really active. You have people who are not only are they active in the game, but they're active in the community. And these people might pop out and do something really big. DKHO, active in community. Zim and Pussy together. That's like that. He's not in SKC, but I saw what he did in the bingo. While I was away, I saw what he did in the bingo. And you're trying to say he's washed? You've never played in the SKC bingo. You need to go see what that's about, but we're gonna leave that there. He's definitely not washed. He can probably play a few weeks, and then DKHO, this dude has a PB of like 130 plus. Stop it. So
He can play a few weeks, but he's not gonna get into triple digits. He's gonna post like a 70.
Oh man.
That's it.
Oh man. But that's cool though, because think about this. Look how low they are on the totem pole, and I think that when I say totem pole in the picks, look how low they are on the picks. These are very valuable picks to get on one team. That's kind of, I'm surprised that they allowed that. They might need to go back and redo that.
How many games do you think DKO will play this season?
Hey, it only takes 1 week to knock somebody off. One. Give him 1 week. I promise you, he'll probably PB. We're talking about fantasy. This hasn't been done for 5 years. For 5 years. So, hey, and some of these people, they've been bossing. They're really active in the community on this team. So I think that you're looking, that's one of the ones, man. It's one of the ones, but hey, my number 3, if I may, is the Citizen Shit Lows. We're gonna place them right there. They are, I got them in contention, but they're my number 3 team. Like I said before, Necro and Rez, terrifying. We've seen it. The question is, using those first 6 players with practically no playoff availability, maybe that's critical. You have to. You might get into, like I said, they're 3. They might get into the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? But will they excel in the playoffs? That's a really good question. I don't even know. I don't know if this is scaled right, but when you see a week like Necro, you got a 153. We're talking. Hey, okay. Hey, what's your 153? Reds, good dominant 1-2 punch. Floral, solid player. Up and comer, Static Void. Hey, like I said, Seek, Ice Juice. Like I said, these people they're a contention for playoffs, but I don't believe that they're gonna make it out of the playoffs, let alone first round playoffs.
I just think that getting into the playoffs is the difficult thing for this team. They have a decent peak, but they just don't have any bench because PVM items is not gonna play. Mugen is not capable of playing very much. Edge, I don't know. Zeke is not gonna play every week. Ice Juice is not gonna play every week. Static Void, I don't know. So that, like they will really struggle finding 5 players available every week, and I think they will get punished for it. They need to play the schedule really right here. Like playing the schedule is the way to win. They need to focus on that week four game against the Fiends. Like they need to pick their spots where they need to pop off in. And if they don't play the schedule smart, they'll just get cooked.
That the last of this is true. If they don't play the schedule smart and they don't plan ahead, they will get cooked. But I completely differ in my opinion. I think that they're going to get playoffs, but I don't think that they're going to go anywhere in the playoffs. Because, yo, the intel's coming. Ring, ring, ring. Ring, ring, ring. There's people calling. I know a couple of these people, they're not playing in playoffs. They're not playing. Some of them are working through the comp, but hey, a lot of people are working through the comp. That's not an excuse. We gotta get some people to call off. You know, Hedge needs to put the funds where they're at. You know what I'm saying? Call off. Take the time off. Pop out when Static Void or Seek's out. Pop in there. Boom. Make that work. And I'm sorry for saying that word. I know that word is very, very, you know, I'm sorry for saying that word, but that word is very, I'm sorry. Don't want to spook anybody there with that word. But I definitely think that they're going to playoffs. Will they make it to playoffs? Will they make it through playoffs? They could probably get around, but they might not make it. They're not going to win, I don't think. But it's a good team. It's a decent team, I would say, actually. A decent team. I know that Hedge can play. I've seen him sleep deprive. I know that Rez, Necro, Foros can sleep deprive. We all know Seek. Shit. Make sure, hey, if the captain of this team can make sure they get Seek on a good schedule, you know, Moses get the man on a good schedule, watch him, boom, you're in. You might make it. Yeah. Just watch him because
you just played against Zeke in the most recent Exceed comp. He was the only reason that you won that comp because he was so fucking shit low.
Hey, bro. Like I said, bro, I'm giving the advice now. If you have him on the squad, you got to give him a schedule. Sleep this day. Sleep this many hours. Don't let him trick you. He'll be like, he is like that. He knows this. When he hears it, he knows I'm not lying. Don't let him. I'm fine. No. Take 3.5, Seek. Take 3.5, man, real quick. Take 3.5. You know what I'm saying? You're like a 6th rounder. Hey, take 3.5. We can use it. You know, take 3.5 for this week, but just chill out. But like I said, 72, I can say that one thing about it. The top 2, they excel in weeks.
Yeah.
The top 3 are going to excel in the week. I think Seek, when it comes to anything longer than 48 hours, it really hurts if you can't get him on a schedule. But he is a top tier player, and it could be a really good pick. You know, just gotta make sure you work with him on that and get him in the game how he needs to be. But he'll die. So far,
I've seen one good week from Zeke, and the rest has just been garbage.
I know. I feel you, but I don't think it's garbage. I don't think it's garbage. Okay, I don't think it's garbage, but it's definitely excels in that 48 hour, and then after that, like I said, and everybody knows this. If you're doing these week comps, play smart. It's a marathon. Don't play yourself. Okay, do your race. Don't worry about everybody else. Make sure you have a plan because you need a plan. Because if you don't have a plan and you go into it, I'm gonna stay up 78 hours. You're gonna die. You're going to cease. Your team's gonna hate you, and it's not gonna be something you want. But yeah, I mean, Mugen, wild card, PBM items, wild card. I don't really know much about them. But definitely wild cards probably. Yeah. Let's see. Do you have any? Now this is where it gets interesting.
And I think there's some good advice passed on to Moses. Like if he can manage Zeke better, then potentially he can get more value out of him. But like it's pretty questionable. He only posted 100 in the Terry comp, and in the most recent one, he was the worst performing player on his team. So yeah, Zeke is gonna be difficult.
And for the record, the only reason he's not ranked last is because I lost 4 EHP or 3.7 EHP, And Mikhail,
Okay.
hey, make sure, hey, for the call, make sure that we get the stuff right. You know what I'm saying? We want because Mikhail couldn't fix my data point, so he's really last in that comp. I'm really giving out. I'm getting good advice here, bro. Rock bottom, but hey, Levine, rock bottom. Where can you go? The top. That's where we're going. I think C's gonna be good. I think C's gonna be all right.
Talk to him nice.
Talk to him nice. Talk to him nice. Talk to him nice. Indeed, indeed, indeed. So comes down to two teams. Who's your second?
My second is Bengal Harbor Butchers.
Oh.
And that's despite the big mistake that he makes in the second round by going Istra. Completely unnecessary, but the draft still turns out amazing for him. He somehow recuperates from that. It's insane. But I think that says a lot about the standard of the other captains, how they let him get away with this. When he scuffs it up so hard early.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a good team for sure.
Yo, why are the streets describing Fong as an old man but can game? What's that about? What's that about?
No idea.
I don't know either. I don't really. I've seen him game. I've seen the stats. He's been up there. He's been gaming. I don't know why the streets are trying to say just because you're old, yeah, you can teach old dogs new tricks. Okay, a lot of us were hitting that. Some of us are hitting 50. Some of us are hitting 60. Pete. Wasby, we're hitting 50 plus. Be ready. Hey, I'm still got it for sure. I think that. I do like this team. I love the team, but I definitely don't have them going to playoffs. Team,
but you have them fifth. You have them as the worst team outside DJ9s.
Because they're not going playoffs. They're not going to be able to do playoffs. Their best players are going to be like, the best players aren't going playoffs.
How are they not making playoffs? Have you seen the team?
I said they're not. My fault. Let me rephrase. They're not going to get out of the playoffs. They like Cactus. If the streets staying, if he's not. Hey, yeah, it's a tough obstacle to overcome. But hey, it is what it is. That's how I'm feeling about that. I'm feeling really good about that. I think that they can get to the playoffs. But I don't think that they're gonna go anywhere. They could technically get to the playoffs, but I don't think that they will. Because also the matchups with the matchups. I think the best pick, honestly, is either Cody or Crimp. Like, for real. Like, those are like some crazy picks. Like, how the hell is Cody? I'm sorry. At this point in competitive skilling, if you're not picking these level 3s who are just gonna do Artie, you're tripping. You are tripping. Like, you're actually tripping. Like, what are you doing? Kavi is an up-and-comer skiller. He's a gamer. There is, and I'm just saying, like he said, I just went against these people in these level 3 comps. All of them did agility. All of them did like 65 plus in 78 hours. First comps, mind you. First comps. Going this late, it's kind of criminal. However, like I said, you're still going to need more to get up there, you know what I'm saying? To be a number 2, you're gonna need more than just that, especially for playoffs. I think that
the thing is, I think they're guaranteed to make it into playoffs. I don't see who can really stop them from getting in. They have a lot of depth on the bench, and once they get in, they can easily find 5 great players out of those names, and they could definitely. I think they'll make the finals depending on who they play in the semis, but they're definitely, in my opinion, the second best team.
I see. On that note, I guess it's time for me to reveal my second pick here. I'm definitely gonna go with the Chinchompa Trap House, second most powerful team, obviously. Like, safe, balanced roster. Safe, balanced roster there. Like, that is a really safe and balanced roster. Like, S-tier anchor. Halcyon did a 148. Like, dude. I've already discussed this team. I'm trying to tell you right now. And if you're going
you don't need
against
to
them,
convince me that she's great. I think so too.
I'm just gotta reiterate this because like you got them in third, bro. You got them in third, and I got them in second.
I think they have a good team, but it's just two better teams.
No. That's cool that you think that. That's cool that you think that. But what do you know? Okay, the intel. All I'm hearing is play a lot. Yo, the last Zim, DK, we already talked about this. I don't want to repeat it. People can go back and understand it, but I'm trying to tell these people they're sleeping. They are asleep, and I hope that they wake up. If you're going against them, don't play yourself. Don't play those weak players, because you will end up in the trap house. You will end up in the trap house, in a trap somewhere, man. You're looking crazy. But yeah. Now. This means, obviously, there's only one more team that we both can put for our number one spot. I guess I'll go first with the Fossil Island Fiends, 5th. For me, they won it when they got the Still of Cavo in the 3rd round, and then they made the tactical pick with Turn. He's about to get 200 mil all. He's gonna be hype. The team's gonna be hype. Like, the team itself is deep. You got Cherry. Yo, descriptive word, competitive. Period. In the story. People are playing to win. Peon. They got a lot to prove. And from what I've been seeing, they've been online more. They're gonna play a lot. Just hope that, just got to keep that morale high. I think that Hodge, I just had Hodge on my team where we smoked on Seek, and yeah, I might be a little biased. I might be a little biased here. This is the leader of my clan, I might be a little biased, but I'm 100% real. But I'm being honest. I do have good stats and good logic behind my thoughts. Cabo's the steal of the draft. Good, consistent player. He might only miss 1 week mid-season, but he's popping out A tier for a 3rd round pick. Look at the rest of the 3rd rounds. Let's be honest with ourselves. Turn 200 mil all week 1. That's that head start. And we said Halcyon was good with a 148. Turn got a 166. A 166? What? Who is this guy? Okay? And he's gonna get a fresh account? He's gonna get another account? Man, with these type of weeks, he might finish his 2nd account this fantasy. That's a W. Marnie on me. Marnie on 3, consistent. Big PVMer. I've never even talked, but yo, I don't even have to have competed against these. I just know when people's names are being spoken of, there's a reason, Levine. There's a reason. They're making noise. Pete, let's be for real. You think Exceed gonna put our guy out there like that? Tip top shape? He's in the same.
He's good, but he's also picked someone early.
I don't want to hear about. I'm not even gonna let you have a butt right now. I'm gonna mute you. There is no butt. What you were about to say is butt. Okay, ass. Let's be for real. He's with Hodge right now. This is the Exceed duo. We got the Agi. We got the Agi corpse. We got the Agi. The Agi Fiends. We talking about Adderall, Artie, Andes. Like, stop it. Like I think that people are sleeping on this team. People are sleeping on this dang team, and I'm going to definitely put them at my number 1. I'm definitely putting the Fiends at my number 1. Mage's book, like, we're talking about people that are going to be doing, a smooth 50 weekly. A smooth 50 weekly. I think Pete just did his best 72. After the end of that call, I had him hyped. I had them all hyped in the call in the VC. I'm telling you, these people can be These people can be motivated. This whole team can be motivated. Every time I talk to Cheery, motivated. Talking in game during the month, motivated. Pion, motivated. Might have some bad takes, but they're motivated. Cavo doesn't even need the motivation, but can be motivated. He's turned up. Money on me. Money on 3. Pete's right there. Boom. Like, I'm talking about, bro, during the call, it's some insight. I'm telling you. After that comp, he did a 60, like a 65 PB in the 78 on some calm shit. At the very end of that, on some light, nonchalant shit. After that, bro, he went and watched a movie with his girl, bro. He was chilling, bro. It was an easy pack. And that's in 78 hours. Think about what he's about to do to people in a week when he has swords. He has all these good methods. That's actually a really surprisingly low pick that could have went even higher. Like, you talk about he got picked in the same round as Zeke. Yo, he just smoked Zeke. He just smoked him. Like, what are we doing? What are we talking about? The draft, the Exceed comp happened before the draft. Did no one watch? Y'all need to watch. Pay attention. You need to pay attention.
We're just talking about how good Zeke was, though. Everyone else thinks Zeke's is garbage.
No, Zeke is good. Zeke is good, bro. Zeke is good. But like I said, Pete is just better. For the comp. For this comp right here, he's better. And yeah. LeBron.
Okay, but you're saying that the whole reason I'm supposed to believe that Fossil Island Fiends is the best team is because of some draft gap in the 3rd round. Calvo better than everyone else in that round. He's not better than anyone in that round. Is he better than CC9? No. Is he better than Despa? Absolutely not. Is he better than Flores? Probably about the same. Is he better than Tatunama? No. Tatunama is the best player. Like, what is this round?
That's crazy.
You're highlighting this round as one of the benefits of the team.
I love that.
Like, they have a competitive advantage here, but they're garbage.
I love that. Some of these players, all them players you're naming, bro, like I just said, bro, some of them not, most of them, no playoffs, bro. You gotta win playoffs. That's just how it is, man. I'm sorry, bro. They can have the greatest week of all time. They can have the greatest week of all time in the regular season. Hey, you lose in the playoffs, you're out. You're done. None of it mattered. And that's what's up for stakes there. That's why I got the Fiends up first. So I'm guessing that only leaves one team, which would be
the best team left.
Yeah, you go ahead and name them.
Botany Bay Plunderers. Garbage name, but the team makes up for it. The players they picked.
Okay.
But like, Ugi's just basically, with the veterancy, with the experience that he has, he's just going for comp players. That's how he drafted. He's not thinking about longevity. He's not thinking about the regular season being particularly important. He's gonna have contributions every week, but he's just picking players that he knows can pop off in once they make playoffs and once they make finals, which they will. So yeah, just comp players, and it's gonna be pretty easy. Yeah. I don't think necessarily that they will win the whole thing because it's still only 5 players and the margins are probably going to be slim between the best teams. But this team is the best team on paper, and they will 100% guaranteed make playoffs. And once they made playoffs, they will also look pretty strong in it.
Okay. Hey, if your 3rd rounder is saying that they're not about to pop off in the playoffs prior to the draft, cool. You're right. Picking people who can pop off, that's cool. But will they? I don't know. I'm thinking, like, hey, if you get in the playoffs, a lot of things changes. You know what I'm saying? And I can agree. If they get into the playoffs, which they can.
What do you mean if they get into playoffs? They are 100% guaranteed to make it into playoffs.
Okay.
Gilmore Goon Squad are already eliminated.
Yeah. My fault.
Beat one other team, and they're so much stronger than a bunch of these teams.
I'm thinking top 3.
They're guaranteed to make it in, and they're going to look pretty strong once they get down.
I'm sorry. I was thinking podium, man. You're right. Yeah, they're going to make playoffs, but the depth to stay in the playoffs, get in the finals.
It's 2 weeks.
Hey, whatever, man. We'll see what happens. I think that I think it'll be interesting. I think that this is gonna be one. I can't wait for this. I can't wait to just look back on this. Hey, I mean, even on that note, um, we got our final rankings out there. I think that we should wrap up with a few predictions for the season ahead. Um, how do you who do you think the league like? What's the league winner award? Like, the player that was drafted in round 5 or later, who you think will outperform their draft position the most?
Like in any round or
5 or later. 5 or later.
5 or later?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, mm, it depends. I don't know. Maybe I'll say no the owner. It's pretty strong in
Mm,
the 7th round.
mm. Yeah. Yeah. That's
And also Viesti in the last round is also strong.
that's
That's
crazy.
2 strong late picks by his only Sams.
Yeah. Yeah. That's 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 how I'm feeling. I was gonna say BSD. Yo, I ain't say it. People are people people say one of the best skillers ever, and he's going in the last round. That's in the story. I mean, that's a league winning. That's a league winning move. You know. I mean, all it takes is Sam to just tap on the shoulder. Hey man, come on man, come pop off. Do like the old times. Probably pop off. That's all it
Yeah.
takes. Get you a couple good
And
weeks.
when you look at the last 2 rounds, they're like no one that can really compete with Viesti's peak.
Oh, um, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Um, I would just say that. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I was gonna mention Scarf because he has Agi, but like I said, man, we already acknowledged this, man. It doesn't even matter what they do. They're not going. They're not going. So that's unfortunate. Uh, crazy though. So that's cool. So I have VSD for my league winning award. The good pick, and then you have say the name again.
No the owner.
Know the honor. I can get
Yeah.
behind that. I could say either or. Honestly, Know the honor is one of those ones that I definitely has been popping off. Definitely been showing up. And if you motivate them, yeah, that's all it takes. And they're both on Sam's team. Good pick. Good picks. Good picks. Um,
Neverfor is also a good pick, I think.
you said who?
But not as high value. Neverfor.
Hmm.
But I don't think Neverfor will play that many weeks, maybe. So I don't think the value is as high as it is with No the owner and Viesti. But only Sams has made some really high value picks in his later rounds, which is also why I
Yeah.
put him second.
Yeah. I think he's a good. I think Neverfor. I think Jay West. He's a good death player. Like probably do a little more a couple times.
Yeah, he's
You
not gonna
know.
play every week, but
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
can have some
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
contributions here and there.
Yeah. He definitely. Hey, I think that really for the butchers, dude, you never know. Just stay motivated. I would. That's my thing. I would say if you can just stay motivated, anything's possible there. Hey, because we see it. We see the talent. It's just making sure that that they're gonna be able to get into that they're gonna be able to stay in the playoffs. Um, and I think that's one of the biggest things for me. Um,
Yeah. Can we flip this around and
wait,
then
if they can get Torque to play, a lot happens in my power ranking personally. But I'm staying with this for
yeah.
now. But what's up?
Can we flip this around and ask who is the lowest value pick? Like who is worst relative to the draft position?
Oh yeah, that's called the buyer's remorse. So let's do.
Hmm.
Okay, so let me phrase this way. Which manager do you think will be regretting an early round pick the most by week 3? Let's start there.
An early round pick.
Or yeah, for sure. The most by week 3. Like who do you think will be regretting those picks? Like they picked someone too early. Probably needed more contribution.
I mean, I think DJ9 is gonna regret most of his picks. So
Ah,
probably
dang,
him.
bro. You didn't even have to even say most of the picks, man. You could have just said one person, but you disrespectful. Okay, I feel it. I feel that.
I mean, I'll obviously highlight Fipabi. Like
Yeah.
Fipabi in the 5th round is ridiculous. That's the whole reason why the fish didn't want to talk to me because he knows how bad that looks. Like he dodged
Mm,
this conversation just because of that pick, man. He knows how bad it is. He knows how indefensible it is to pick Fee Poppy in the 5th round, man.
damn. Yo, there's a few people who probably gonna want to fight you, man. And by the looks of your temple, Levine, yo, it's a very small country, brother. I hope you, just look out, man. All it takes is one tap on the shoulder. I'm totally playing
I
though,
mean,
but I can see it. I can see why people say that, but I think that's don't believe that's propaganda, Levine. That is grade A propaganda. Don't believe the oh Effie probably this. I can totally see consistent 70s, yo. Like that's chill. I think that's chill. It might be a little bit early, but I don't think it's the worst pick. It's not like the one where I'm like, yeah, that person's gonna fully
it's not the
regret
worst
it
pick. Name a worse pick than Fee Poppy in the 5th round, then.
in the 5th round.
Yeah,
Oh,
name a
I
worse
mean,
pick than Fee Poppy in the 5th
I
round. You
think.
can pick any round.
Oh yeah,
Just
yeah,
name
yeah,
a bad
yeah.
pick then.
Okay. I think Ioden. I don't think he's gonna do 70 plus every week. I don't think Tort is gonna do 70 plus every week. I don't think. Yeah, those are the first two that come to my mind. Are they
What?
freaking?
I
Are
mean,
they
I mean
insane? Yeah, they're great gamers, but like I said,
the
contribution, and I'm talking about like, yo, by week 3, there's gonna be some problems there.
I mean, there's only one round between Iodine and Fee Poppy, and Iodine is going to contribute so much more. Like I think there should be like 7 rounds between Iodine and Fee Poppy, and there's only one round between them. So I don't think that's the difference. And of course, Tortunum, I don't know how you can mention him in 3rd. Like he's one of the best players in the whole
Yeah,
comp.
yeah. You can be like I said, you can be one of the best players in the comp, but if they're not gonna be able to use you until August, it's gonna be a hot summer. You know what I'm saying, brother?
No, because they're gonna get into playoffs easily.
Oh man, brother. Oh brother. And I guess that's
I mean,
see. But look, I have them missing playoffs. So that's your propaganda. My propaganda is they're missing playoffs. They're missing
I don't know how you
playoffs.
can have them missing playoffs. There's no
I have
chance they
them
don't
missing
make
playoffs.
playoffs.
But you know what's
You're just
crazy?
very, very
But
ignorant.
what's funny? Okay, that's cool. You can think I'm ignorant. I think it's funny that
Yeah,
like
I think
both
so.
of these teams, that we named for like the managers having like the biggest regret, they're both like they're both like the ones that we're talking about are all in the same captain. So I mean, maybe there's a trend there. But
I mean, I think he's gonna regret a lot of his picks, like most of
who?
them.
DJ9?
Like, yeah, except for the first one. The
Yeah.
first one is safe, but he
I,
had a lot of time to think about that one, and the rest is just nonsense.
yeah, I don't know. I think yeah, looking at DJ9's like last few picks, I mean, Effie Poppy was probably like when you got on the fence there and you're like, what the hell's going on? Well, it's not really what the hell's going on at that point. It's just like, oh, we're just on the fence. Like the wind can flip your team either way. And then it's like, then Helpless Bob, Buff Boobies, Warlow, Scarf. It's really iffy there, man. I'm not gonna lie. I do think that hey, we'll see like some good play out of them, but I don't think we already know. Third time. Where are they not going, Levine? Where are they not going?
I mean,
Where's Gillinor
like,
where's the Goon Squad? Where are they not going?
I mean, I think
They're not
like
going to playoffs.
absolutely not. But like, I think for me, it's not about Fee Poppy, to be honest. Like, that's not the worst thing about it. Even if you take Fee Poppy away from this draft, it's still a garbage draft. It's just icing on the cake that he gets picked on this team. But at least it makes me extremely happy that he will be denied a badge. It makes me so
Yeah.
fucking happy.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for his teammates, he'll probably kill the locker room spirit as well.
Yeah. I remember
It'll
I
be
was on a team with
it'll be
Effie
rough.
Poppy. I forget who it was in some comp, man. He's cool though. Like he's chilling call and he can do calm. So you know that you'll get communication out of him. It's just trying to get him to play more. I think that what he signed up for is what he'll do. Probably like a 70 plus type of there. But like I said, and I think that's weekly. I think that the rest of them, you can't expect that out of them. So I think that there's some disorder there. There's some other picks that could have been picked in place of that. I mean, we got Effie Poppy going to like just look at this. Look at the next round. Helpless Bob, like Bob me up. Never for Pete, Seek, Fong, Surge, definitely above Effie Poppy. I'll give you that. Definitely above Effie
For sure.
Poppy. Definitely. Like, shoot, I'm not even. Damn. Now I'm kind of talking myself. Dang, Bub Booby's not the owner. Majors Book, Hedge, Kobe, Zim. Dang, bro.
Like
Potato
when you
Legs,
look, when you
Warlow. Like, yeah, once I start looking, I'm like, Eddie Poppy,
yeah.
really? Yeah, man. I'm not gonna lie. And I don't even dang, it's crazy. I just talked myself, yeah, he really should have went way further down, bro. Way further down. You're tripping,
Yeah.
DJ9. I do like Eddie
Like
Poppy
when you
though. He's cool, but
like all the
damn.
other 5 teams have a stronger round 6 and stronger round 7 than the Fee Poppy pick in the 5th round. Fee
It's
Poppy is not better than any player selected in the 6th or 7th round.
it's pretty crazy, bro. I'm not gonna lie. That is pretty crazy.
It's
It's
insane.
crazy. Yeah, dang. I talked myself through it, and I'm definitely. And it's not even his fault that he got picked that way. It's really DJ9's fault, but fuck it. Everybody's already cooking him. Let them cook him. It's cool. I think yeah. I mean, yeah, so that yeah, I think that so for your buyer's remorse, who was your pick again? Did you say Effie Poppy?
Yeah. Fee Poppy.
Okay. Okay, and I got Tort. Just because the little production they'll get from them all early on. That's my only reason. But now
He will make up for it in the important games.
Hey. If they start popping off, hey, I'm probably gonna slide Effie Poppy right to the top there. I just feel like I can't change it because I already said it. So that's how it is. But now that I've talked through this and I've actually looked a little bit harder at this, that's a damn shame. Damn, DJ9, you gotta do better. And finally, I guess we can look ahead to week 1. There's 3 big matchups starting July 13th. How do you have week 1 sorting out?
Can't remember the matchups off the top of my head.
Okay, so week 1 is we have the Falco Island Fiends and the Chinchompa Trap House. How do you feel that going?
Yeah, I think overall Chinchomma Trap House is a stronger team, so I'll hand it to them. But I will say though that like every player in the first week is extremely motivated, even on the inferior teams. So like there are some pretty weak teams on paper that could come strong out of the gate, and then they will fall off later when they don't have the team to keep it up. So, but in this matchup, I'll obviously favor the better team,
Yeah.
which is Chinchomma Trap House.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. I've got now I'm not gonna lie, yeah, I got the hmm, I got the False Island Fiends for sure on that one. Um Definitely the False Island Fiends. That's a no-brainer for me. It is a that's I'm not gonna lie. To me, that's the closest one. You know, that's the closest. That's the big one to me. I think that's like the biggest one, and you can see why just based off of my just based off of my why I think it is the power rankings. They're the two most powerful teams going to each other week 1. And if you're not watching the fantasy, you're really missing out because yo, it's huge. And then not only that, like you got the you got Levine's top 2 picks going against each other. You know, like I think that people are asleep. Like I think that there's a lot there, man, and it's gonna be really interesting. Yeah, I definitely. So we're going opposite ways there. You're gonna go with the Trap House. I'm going with the Fiends. I just think that they have way more depth. Yeah, but it is a big week for that, and I hope that they're ready. My whole reason, honestly, for this first week, yo, it's about to get turned up. I hope y'all ready. It's about to get turned up. Uh, how do you have the how do you have, how do you have the Citizen Shitlows versus man the Gillinor and
I
Goon
mean
Squad?
that one is just so easy to call because I think the GGS will go 0-7. They will not win a single game this season, so it's so
Yeah,
easy to call that. But
yeah, yeah,
like shitloads are also pretty bad, and
yeah.
the peak of GGS's motivation will be at the this week 1. They start off with a positive or
Mm.
neutral record of 0-0. So they will be at the highest motivation they will have from the start. So that's pretty unfortunate for the Shitlows, but it won't be a problem because the team that they're playing is just so bad that it doesn't matter if they are neutral or decently motivated. It'll still be pretty easy to sweep past them.
Honestly, this like the off season. It's like the off season. It's the pregame. Yo, if this is that season where you just testing out a round for the shitloads, I would just be testing out a round, honestly, like trying to see
Yeah.
like trying to see how
Throw
the
in the
lineup
bench
works.
players.
Ask the people, yeah, rest up your good people, but don't play yourself though, because if you lose to the Goon Squad after this, oh. But my thing is this: they can throw in the bench players because the only reason I don't have the shitloads going so much, or I'm sorry, the shitloads going so much higher is because so much lack of playoff contribution that's gonna occur with them. But right now, first week, this is the worst time for you to have to go against them. And with a weak team like the Gillingham Goon Squad, yeah, it's a tragedy. It's a tragedy. It's unfortunate. They got that crazy ass depth in their bench, and yeah, you got people on the shitloads who say, "Fuck it, I'll take off work if it's needed." So it's about to be some yeah.
I think like the Shitlows, despite the fact that they're one of the weakest teams in the league, they can just start their 5 worst players and they will still completely smoke Gilner Goon Squad. They can just start Ice Juice, Zeke, Hedge, Mugen, and PVM items, and they will still wipe the floor with this garbage squad.
Those frauds. No, I'm playing. I'm playing. Now you're tripping though. Honestly, bro, you're kind of tripping there. But you're being a little you're being a little you're just being a little silly for sure.
I think I'm just being fair in my assessment. I call it as I see it. It's a garbage team, and they will go 0-7.
I agree. I don't think that they should definitely put like, if Gaduzu, we know he did a 500. If I'm the Goon Squad, he did a 500. He's an eat right now. Probably put him in there. Quit playing. Don't play yourself. Do not play yourself. You need one really top heavy player and just use those other people. Handle that light work. Oh, I'm sorry. My fault. Gaduzu is. I'm sorry, bro. You're on the Goon Squad, bro. It's over for you. My bad, bro. It's over for you, gang. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Had the wrong thing there. But definitely, yeah. Put Necro in, and whoever is a need for this. Put Zeke in. You don't even need to tell Zeke what to do. Just put him in, and you don't even need to watch them. Just let it happen. It's like Age of Empires. Just let the simulation occur. They'll wipe them out easy. That's easy work. That's light work. What else do we have? We have the Botany Bay Plunderers versus the Bangor Harbor Butchers.
Yeah. I mean, for me, this is the 2 best teams in the league, but I still think this matchup is pretty hard to call because it just depends on availability and who they decide to play in this one. So, over a long season, I will favor Botany Bay, but in a particular matchup in the first week, it could be anyone's game. This could be a bloodbath, I think. I think this will be the 2 highest producing teams in terms of numbers.
For this week, I doubt. I think it's gonna be the it's crazy because your 2 are going to, it's gonna be I feel you, but I think that I'm gonna be highly right in my assessment. I think that the False Island Fiends versus the Trap House is gonna be the biggest one, and then the Plunderers and the Butchers. I'm gonna have to go with the Plunderers over the Butchers. If I have to call it, it could be close, but I'm definitely gonna go with the Plunderers. Although they did get some of those really, really good picks. You know what I'm saying? They got some really good picks that are sleepers, but I don't know. That first week, they're not gonna be awake, and it's gonna be too late. So yeah, that's how I'm feeling with those. Yeah. Let's see. Should we take any questions from the chat? We could probably take maybe 1 or 2, maybe 3, if you want to do that, Libyan. You down for that?
Sure. It'll be
Yeah,
a bunch of troll questions, but we'll take
yeah,
them.
yeah, 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 for sure, for sure. Oh, if it's a troll question, we probably skip it. Honestly, uh, rank the locker rooms by Ice
Ooh,
Juice. That's
that's
a
a good
good
one.
one. That's a really good one, actually.
I
Um,
think I'll just put DJ9's team at the bottom just because they lose and that will kill the locker room spirits very, very quickly. So for
I,
me, they're out of the question.
I
And
feel
then
bad because I feel like we might have even like I think that they were probably surely their locker room is already like in aware of this, right? Like surely we're not saying anything that's like news to them. I think that maybe the locker room was already done. That's probably the weakest locker room.
for sure.
Yeah.
I think that the Trap House have a good locker room. They have a lot of wholesome players. I think the spirit
Yeah.
is very high in the Trap House.
Yeah. Spirits high in my trap house. Yeah.
Mhm.
Trapping in the trap house. Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
But this week,
Also, only Sam's team, also a vibe team. Uptism will probably also manage his team pretty well. I wonder
dang,
about
bro.
Moses. Moses,
Yo,
yeah,
you can only pick one. Chill. Only pick one.
I think the other,
Who's the
bro,
number one, the best locker
a,
room?
a lot of these teams are already playoff ready, in my opinion. So, so of
Yeah.
course they're gonna be happy. There are gonna be so many happy locker rooms right now. But I think, yeah, if I am to highlight one, I'll pick the Trap House. The spirit is very
Mm,
high in that one.
yeah. Honestly, I think that's a really good, and that's another reason, man. I told you I wasn't even talking like just off of I don't know. I've seen darts captain some teams before, and with these other people, they're really like I said, they're really active, and these are people that will sit in probably a VC forever. Like
Yeah.
you won't even know they're online type of deal. They're just there in a VC, and I can see them. Whereas like that would probably be like one of my top ones. But
And I
even
think
though
there's also this. Can I say something?
go
I
for
think
it, go
there's
for
also a
it.
lot of synergy. There's also a lot of synergy between the players. You have Halcyon, Seed, and Freckled, two free-to-play players. You have
Yeah,
Despa and Surge, two Slayer
yeah.
people. You have Header and DK Ho, two tournament all people. You have the only Pyro, he's just vibing. He's the last pick overall, so he's just a mascot pick. And then you have Fuamoko, probably an anime person. That's also amazing for the spirit. And Pootsie,
Mm,
that's a woman. You love women.
they'll take, but I was gonna
What?
say
You don't
Pootsie.
like women? How is
I
it
was
every time
saying,
I'm in a call?
I was saying
It's with
Pootsie. Look. I was gonna say Pootsie because you got Zim there too, and Zim is heavy in SKSC, and Pootsie is like one of the leaderships in SKSC. I think that they know each other, and I think that the community knows like of these people, and they're really good socializing with people, and that this locker room here with darts, it's gonna be really really up there, and I think that
for sure.
yeah, that's another reason. That's one of the but still would take the Fossil Island Fiends over them that first week just based off of power. I think that so they would be one of my first. I would hate to do this, man. I don't want to say a tie, but I think the locker rooms, yo, the trap house is gonna be trapping. That's what's crazy. The trap house is gonna be trapping, and then you got the butchers. They might be cutting up. They might be cutting up, man. I really that's an active locker room. That's an active locker room. Even if you know they may not be the highest ranked for me, I still can recognize a good social space where these people can really you can set people up to excel here, and these are some really high level players. Um, and then Hodge, I would say the Fiends probably third for the locker room, but probably second this week just because they're gonna have Turn getting 200 mil, and he's gonna really need to capitalize off that. Hodge is gonna really, I think Hodge, if he just does the captain work, you know, we're gonna have some really good chemistry for that locker room, especially that first week. So that's a toss up there. Autism, the Plunderers. I mean, yo, the name, the picture, everything was just so perfect. I think that locker room, it's yo. I've sat in VC with Krim for like 70 hours before. He's a gamer. He can do it. These are people that want to win, and I can see it. I can see they want to win.
But Krimk is also a volatile player. I've also seen him completely disappear in some comps.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
And that's both in the locker room and it's also on the battlefield.
But I think that given this playoff, I mean, given the regular season right now, this is the regular season, they're up there. They have a good locker room, and um, even if you may miss somebody during playoffs, hey, that locker room can still get. By the time you know that locker room, you get to playoffs, the locker room's already formed. There's a bond there. People they're gonna be chilling. They're gonna be up in there stinking, musty, crusty, and they're gonna be really ready to go after it. So I think that if Lutism can get that locker room cohesion going, they could be one of the top locker rooms. And unfortunately, yeah, the Goon Squad, they're going to be the last locker room, and then I would have the Shitloads just being a shitload locker room too. But I think that shit is really volatile right there. The Shitloads, they're really volatile. It's unfortunate, but I think that hey, you never know. You never know. Um, let's see here. Were there any more? We could take one more question. Let's see. One more question. Oh, which team has more racks? Okay. I don't know why I even read that out loud. This guy's a troll. I'm about to ban him. Let's see. Who was the biggest boom or bust player? I think did we cover that?
And indirectly. But I'm also curious to see what condition we'll get Viore in, because he would be a boomer bust player.
Mm.
If it's a prime Viore, it's obviously going to be insane. But if it's just going to be recent times Viore, it's not going to be fantastic. So that would be one name to highlight here.
Yeah.
Well, and also I would also say Crimp here. He's another one, but I think people have learned their lesson, because in most other comps, Crimp is going to get picked in the first or second round. This time,
Yeah.
all of the captains left him open until the 5th round. So, yeah, I think it's justified to pull the trigger on him here in this position.
Yeah, and they got Effie Poppy there, bro. That's so crazy, man. Even then, you're like, what the hell, bro? And it's so bad though. Like everybody's not even like a boomer bust. It's just is what it is. Like you're not getting much else out of what he says. I don't think Crimp is a boomer bust player. He's gonna perform. This is high stakes. He is gonna do his thing. He's one of the best micro players that we've seen. We've seen it all. We saw the mining sticks. We saw those attempts. He has that mentality to keep going when things get tough. I think that the boomer bust. I mean, yeah, Viore, he's practically one of the best skillers of all time, you know. But he's getting ranked up there with Effie Poppy, who's active, who's technically.
The game is on the line. Crimp has faded so many times though, so I think he is boomer bust. He always performs well in short duration situations. He's also performed really insane in 72-hour comps, but in those weak comps, it's really tough for him on day 6 and 7.
If that locker room, I think that locker room, man, is gonna be a good locker room, and I think that they're gonna have cohesion. I think they're gonna get it together, especially in the first few weeks. But yeah, I mean, oh, it's just another thing too. The Butchers, man, that locker room can be really good. That locker room can be really good. I've been in a comp with Azula, practically all these people, and they're all performers. So and they all are social. They all can like really like, you know, they all can gather around and rally together. But yeah, for my boomer bust, I'll agree. Viore is up there. It's just because you've seen the prime, you know the expectations, and you want them to live up to the expectations. But being in that 5th round, it's like you can't really make them live up to those expectations, or else they'd be like 1st or 2nd round. You know what I mean? And I think that's really bad. I think that's fair. I think that's a fair. I think that's a fair analysis for right now. Um, shout out to everybody participating. I'm wishing everybody luck. 3 big matchups starting July 13th. You heard it here first. What we're believing is going to occur. Our power rankings.
Yep.
And yeah, that's a wrap on our
Yeah.
2025 Fantasy HP draft review. A huge thank you to Levine for joining me and breaking it down. Feel free to follow him on all his socials. And be sure to drop him a follow. And thank you to everyone in the chat for hanging out and debating with us. It's going to be an incredible season, and we'll see you all next time. Peace.
Peace.